You are listening to a podcast of the Geek.io Media Network. For all of our shows and more, visit geek-io.net. And to help support the network, head over to patreon.com/geekio.
Now for a lesson.
Konbanwa, Anime Otaku Show e yokoso. Good evening. Welcome to the Anime Otaku Show.
You may have heard these words before, but I'll teach you what they really mean.
Remember, we will be discussing all episodes up to the ones we talk about tonight. Anata go supporter o kinishi nanara, soyo. If you don't mind spoilers, welcome.
Go beyond! Plus!
Yes, indeed. Hello and welcome. Konbawa minasan. This is the Anime Otaku Show, episode number 28. I am CJ. No kanji! But joining me tonight are, as always, Josh. Your Tamagotchi is dead, McGrath.
I could not keep one of those fucking things alive to save my life.
Carrie, totally Meliodas' brother, Wilcox.
Sure, why not?
Delbert, aggressively rapping in our direction, Sand.
Mom spaghetti, knees weak, mom spaghetti.
You had 24 hours to get that down.
He did. It was
But
perfect.
he needs to sleep, unfortunately. Unlike the undead, he can't stay up 24/7.
And of course, right up there in the corner, or in the middle, our Alice is Raul. I've called you Robert for no good reason. EILF Garza.
Hello.
Elif.
Why would you call me Robert? I get enough people, some people mistake when I sign my name as Paul.
See, at least that one makes sense because it's just, dropping the stick.
It is a stick. It is a stick. It is a stick. It is a stick. Hey, stick, what are we sticking about tonight?
Well,
That timing.
yes. Yelp, bark, woof, woof, woof. Arrgh.
Quick,
So
give him
says
some
the
fried squid.
Generalissimo.
No,
Speaking
Romero,
of fried
stop.
squid, we're talking about Zombieland Saga, episodes 2 and 3 of season 1. I love Hip Hop Saga, even though the notes say I love Hip Hop Sage.
I too love Hip Hop Sage.
Hip Hop Sage.
Hip hop sage mode. It's B from
Freshest
Naruto.
with-
He's back, you guys.
And Dead or Alive Saga. I mean, Dead or Alive Saga. There weren't enough jiggle physics for it to be Dead or Alive Saga.
There was some flying through the air though, so that
There
counted.
was,
Yeah, and then there's that time I got reincarnated as a slime.
of course.
And we'll be talking about that time I got reincarnated as a slime. Season 1, Episode 2, Meeting the Goblins. And Season 1, Episode 3, 10 Rules for Dating My Teenage Goblin. I mean,
Oh, that's right. We didn't watch episode 4. Damn it! I'm gonna be one episode ahead of the show every time that we talk about it.
we're also looking at Radiant, Season 1, Episode 2, True Courage, Bravely Default, I mean Bravery. And Season 1, Episode 3, The Day of Departure for Alma, apparently. And also, SSSS.Gridman.
Super Saiyan, Gridman.
Season 1, Episode 1, 2, and 3, Awakening, Restoration, and Defeat. And because somebody wouldn't fucking shut up about it,
My goddamn show. We talk about this goddamn show.
and that's your sin.
Yes, it is.
7 Deadly Sins. Talking about Season 2, which is actually Season 3 according to Netflix. Episode 1, Revival of the Demon Clan. And Season 3, Episode 2, Existence and Proof.
It's episode 2. The OVA is no way a freaking season. Nobody will ever call that as a season. That's the reason why Netflix has it listed as season 1, and then the name of the OVA, and then the sub name for season 2, because they got so much shit for putting the OVA up there as season 2.
But they didn't fix it.
They fixed it on mine.
Not on ours.
It's
I
on
mean,
the PlayStation.
I know if you look at the actual listing, it'll say Season 1, name of the OVA, but if you look at the actual episodes, each of the OVA episodes is season 2, episode 1, season 2, episode 2, and then they start a season 2 as season 3.
That's weird.
Yeah. Like we actually had to go to the show notes and make sure that we were actually watching far enough ahead.
You two know Kira. Well, you three know Kira. Raul, you're not in this conversation. Kira and I have a shared love for this show, and we saw that they were dropping season 2, and we're like, wait, the fuck? There's no way. It's not even on Japan yet. Are we getting simultaneous release? And they drop it, and it's like, this is the fucking OVA. We'll get there. I want to talk about Radiant first.
Just give it a fond farewell.
Yeah, because fuck this show. I'm done. It is boring.
I actually first episode I thought that. Second episode, okay, and then I actually the last episode got to me.
I mean, you're the one, I suppose.
Well, no,
So
I mean, yes. Go ahead.
Who else completely called that the Bravery Quartet were going to be total dicks?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
100%.
You don't call yourself the Bravery anything if you're going to be legit brave.
I don't completely hate them because at least they're dicks that are understandably dicks.
Yeah, they have a reason.
They are living in a world where they get the shit end of the stick despite having phenomenal cosmic powers.
Yeah. I mean, how would you expect someone not to turn out like them?
I do love that. Sorry, go ahead.
And that's the thing is they have this phenomenal magical power and everyone treats them like shit regardless. So why not abuse it at that point? I'm not saying it's the right choice, but
or live long enough to become the villain.
I do love that Uncle Sam leader guy was completely and utterly channeling All Might for his performance for the crowd.
Yeah, it was Don Bossman, which if that's not a villain
Don
name,
Bossman. I
Yeah.
forgot that.
Yeah.
and the funny thing was, even though I knew right off the bat that they were going to wind up being antagonistic, the thing that really gave it away was the gold tooth.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like the second he grinned and there was that gold tooth there, it's like, oh god damn it.
Yep.
They're actually gonna be assholes.
They're absolute assholes. So I had a hard time not complaining or comparing this show not only to Naruto and One Piece, but I'm sorry, but to freaking Black Clover. Like not Asta is nowhere near as annoying as Asta, but he's just annoying enough for me to not want to listen to him.
It's he's not so much annoying as he is just generic.
Yeah. Like
he has no defining characteristics of his own that aren't textbook shonen anime protagonist.
Yeah, it's not even the voice that bothers me. Like his voice is fine. It's the character himself. Like I was actually super pissed when in episode 3 he leaves Alma because she's the most interesting character in the show.
Yes, there's like so much you want. They give her little backstory, and it's just like
I want to watch her show.
Yes, this is like a great story development, character development for this character, and then he leaves her behind.
Yeah, it's almost like in these kind of shows, and that's the reason why My Hero works so well, is you always have these things where these shonen protagonists have to go away from their parental figures for fuck knows what reason. And
My Hero Academia calls it out.
Yeah.
Where All For One is saying you're supposed to let him go and be on his own and grow, and All Might's like, fuck that, I'm gonna be a dad.
It's just I don't understand the need for these, and like this show, Radiant suffers from a lot of issues where they're trying too hard to be better things. They're trying to rebottle that lightning that you got with the big three.
Yeah,
and it's literally rote. Like at that point,
well,
like,
no, the big three built up to it. they earned their big 3 title.
Yeah.
And the whole going away from the mentor thing isn't just something that happens in shonen. It happens in all adventure series.
Yeah.
Because you have Obi-Wan dying, you have redacted from book that people on this show are going to be reading soon, so I'm not going to say anything. You have you've got in Aragon,
Yeah.
who, as soon as he establishes himself as the elderly wizard mentor figure, well, he's going to die.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, but I mean, are there any other stories where the mentors like stay with?
There's not many.
I mean, you got Gandalf to an extent because he, Jesus is.
Yeah.
I mean,
Gandalf coming
he
back.
basically just stole all the XP from the party and came back as a
Yeah.
It's like, guys, run away! Ah, I stab at thee.
Solo EXP.
This raid boss is now mine.
Did we just turn Gandalf into Kirito?
Yeah, pretty much.
No, we turned him into a Blood Death Knight.
But yeah, it's like I like the concept of the world for Radiant. I like what they're trying to sell, but their salesman it's his first day on the job.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I'm still gonna keep watching it, not for the show, but just like because I want to see where it's going. I want to see if it's in another 3 episodes, if it just turns into your like more generic, like, oh, I see that coming. It's like, okay, no. But
they
yeah.
have an opportunity to have like the Bravery quartet to be like the people who look like they're villains and like people who are genre savvy like us. Like those guys are going to be villains. Nope, they are absolutely like they are his now entourage. Like they are, they have the opportunity to flip that on their head. And these shows that are quintessential now that are, quickly approaching big 3 status, like My Hero, like Food Wars, like they are self-aware enough to poke at it while bridging the path to their own greatness.
Yeah,
Right?
because I mean, like my biggest issues were the fact that one, he's leaving Alma behind, at least temporarily,
Yeah.
because she is by far the more interesting character.
Yeah, I would have been.
The amnesiac hero.
Yep.
Yeah, I would have been fine with if they let's go together.
Yeah. Why are we separating? I don't know. Stay with me then. Okay, cool.
I mean, one, he is a sorcerer, yes, but he's still an inexperienced sorcerer.
Because he can use it without a wand or anything like that. And
Barehanded magic, yeah.
not giving up is his magic. Sorry.
And then we get, especially since we're just kind of mushing all this together to kind of wad it up and toss it in the trash for the show. Like the fact that you get that post credit in episode 3, where it's like, oh hey, we're the big bad special, enforcement guys. Hey, look, we found the kid with the horns.
I mean, no one
Yeah.
expects this kind of Inquisition.
Yeah, bad guys with the Catholic Church yet again.
Yep.
And oh look, go figure, the little kid with the horns. What a surprise.
Yeah. Is some kind of demon kid. Yeah. All right.
He's probably half Nemesis or something like that.
Most
Or
likely.
full-blooded Nemesis, because the thing that makes me both interested and less interested about the show is these Nemesis things. These creatures that drop down out of the sky in a place that is all sky, getting a lot of Skies of Arcadia from this world.
Yeah, which would be a lot.
So who's seeing like a giant bird on an island that's just popping these eggs out?
Well, that's the thing is,
Well, yeah,
now in this last episode we get this whole
It's a giant turtle, bro.
oh, Radiant, the place where all the Nemesis supposedly come from. First of all, bullshit.
Yeah.
Why would the place where all of these supposedly catastrophe level creatures come from be called Radiant?
Because we're trying to capture 7 deadly sins and other vastly superior products.
Secondly, I don't think the Nemesis things are actually technically evil. Especially because some of the people who come into contact with these wind up developing magical powers.
Yeah. and
It
that's
reminds me a lot of the Mistborn franchise and something that goes on in that book series.
I mean, it's straight pulled from Bleach's Hollows. Like, they are humans turned demons because of things. I mean, I'm guessing here they are humans turned demons because of things going on with them, and certain people that come in contact with these hollows gain the ability to actually, use their abilities. So
It's the stress of the situation bringing out latent potential.
exactly.
Hell, we could go full Madoka with this, and the Nemesis are just this universe's manifestation of entropy.
Oh, now I'm sad.
Oh no.
Well, I mean, to be fair, the Nemesis haven't yet eaten anybody's head.
Yet. So they're not.
Not that we've seen.
So,
Also,
but yeah.
saying Latin potential, I appreciate that one. All right. So let's move on to a show that we kind of had. So, by the way, we gave it our 3. I mean, if you guys are going to want to continue talking about Radiant going forward, that's fine, but I will excise myself from the conversation on those ones. I am done with Radiant. I don't care anymore.
I'd say we can check up on it after another 3 episodes, but it's not ensnaring the way other series have been.
Yeah. Raul and Josh and I can keep watching it, and we'll let you guys know in the Slack if we recommend you attempting to watch any more of it.
That's fair. That's fair.
So what are we moving on to, CJ?
All right, let's get back into line with the notes. Zombieland Saga.
What the fuck is this show, you guys?
It is brilliant.
I hated the first episode. Like, within seconds, I was ready to just turn it off, and I was not looking forward to watching it on the series. And then the second episode played, and I got kind of pissed off because why the fuck am I enjoying this?
Because it's good.
First of all, the actual opening for the show is not screaming death metal. It's a fucking Toku love letter montage.
Yes, this is straight Showa era tokusatsu gold. This is the golden age of Japanese comics is what we're watching on the screen right now. Hi, Death Mage.
The first part of episode 2 kind of pissed me off because he's like forcing these girls to be pop idols. Only 2 of them were. And somehow he brought them all back to life as zombies. That kind of...
I don't think he's the one that rezzed them.
Yeah, no.
He just happened to find them.
Think he's just like, oh, hey, this is useful. Duh. Just find a bunch of zombies wandering around a graveyard. These were attractive girls at one point in time. Maybe I could do something with this that doesn't break any laws.
Undead waifus.
Yeah. Though
However,
he
did
does
have
an
to spend a lot of
awesome...
time.
What?
Yeah, I said he did have to spend a lot of time on the whole makeup thing, though.
Oh.
Why isn't that man working in movies?
I think
that is my question.
We haven't got there yet because I don't think it's time for that character development yet, but I think he like legitimately cares for these girls and for Saga, and like we have to get to a point where he is willing to give that up. But it's very obvious that like if he is indeed the mastermind of this, it is all because he cares about this land. He cares about his prefecture.
So a prefecture, is it kind of like a county?
It's like a state.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a state. Oh, okay.
United States of Japan.
Similar to, but legally distinct from states and or provinces.
Oh, okay.
So there's obviously something heavily hanging over us that we don't know yet because, well, 1, there's a zombie fucking outbreak, and 2, like the first thing he says to these girls are, hey, you have to sing because we have to save this land.
Yeah.
Yeah, and here I am. I'm expecting heavy metal.
I'm a little sad we got away from heavy metal, and then we got the second episode of the hip hop, and Japanese rap is really weird to me. Like,
the thing is, it's technically better because the language is perfectly rhythmical to begin with.
Yeah, it sounded awkward because you were listening to a bunch of amateurs doing it. Like, if you go and listen to like Homemade Kazoku stuff, it sounds really fucking cool when pros are doing it.
Well, and I don't doubt that one. Like,
and I think it also comes down to the fact that you were not only like listening to them rap, but you're also reading the subtitles at the same time, trying to make the words work out. So they're not going to see the actual rhyme happening.
And technically, we're listening to them freestyling too. Like they're making this shit up on the spot.
Oh, and we get the two metalheads from the first episode.
Yes, I hope that they continue. I want to see them following these girls around.
I'm a little sad that they did not show up in episode 3,
Well,
but
the whole
it was
point
a
of episode
gorilla
3 is
live.
it was a gorilla performance, so they wouldn't know.
all right. Episode 3, I can guarantee, is where Coop says that the manager is starting to become me. Frightening and strangely accurate, except I only have slightly dead people here.
Yeah, I hope we get like soon, and like you were saying, like an episode of like showing that he really cares for these girls.
I can guarantee it. We kind of ramped up into this one with this one. Like, we need to begin getting you guys star power because we need to save this land. So I have a feeling it's going to be in the next couple of episodes.
I'm really kind of wondering, now that I think about it, if this series isn't going to go the way of Warm Bodies.
That
I have not seen Warm Bodies, the one with Johnny Depp where he's a zombie.
No, not Johnny Depp.
Isn't it Beast? Isn't it William? What's his face?
I think so.
But
which
no,
one am I thinking of then?
It's a zombie, and he comes back to life through love, basically. And
the cure for being a zombie is love.
Yeah, I would love to see.
And so I'm wondering if that's not going to be the case. Is there is actually a zombie outbreak, and the way to fix it is with the power of song and friendship.
So Josh brought up the bad CG at the end of this, and I finally got.
Oh my god!
It is 100% is 100% a parody of other idol shows where it goes from full hand-drawn things to this horrifying CG, and it's obviously the free. They like, I can guarantee they took the freeware Hatsune Miku software and that's how they designed it. I can almost guarantee it because those.
I hope we don't get more pop. I know he wants them to be a pop idol, but I want other music. I want other genres.
Yeah, like I sincerely hope that this is the one time they get to go to that well. Like, don't keep going back to this well, because that is where you will turn me off.
And like, especially because when the show really started to grab me was when it went off the rails into the freestyle rap battle, and you've got the courtesan back there doing a Yoshida Brothers thing.
Yes.
Yeah, playing her shamisen that she pulls out of fucking nowhere.
Lily beatboxing in her adorable liliness, like.
And yeah,
and then
and
just
see,
shoves the microphone in Tai Chen's mouth.
Yeah, Tai Chan just being Tai Chen.
And that episode is really what addressed my primary like gripe with the first episode too, which is the first episode did not have any personality whatsoever.
Yeah.
We didn't get to see any of Sakura's redeeming characteristics. We didn't get any chemistry with anybody because they were most of them were literally still dead.
Yeah.
I mean, they still are, but they were brain dead as well. And so it's like you can't connect with them in that state. And so it's like, what's the point in watching this? This is stupid. Thank you, Coop.
Thanks,
Coop. But then you actually get into the second episode and you start getting that ensemble chemistry going on. And it's like, okay, now I am interested in this.
I wonder if that last girl is ever going to like awaken.
They got her dancing in the third episode.
Yeah, she's dancing in the third episode. I can guarantee she's gonna be, when they need a power ballad, she's gonna erupt out of her stupor and be the world's greatest singing voice.
That's the Queen episode.
Yeah.
For me, I wanted to go
hair metal, zombie hair metal idols.
I want it to go one of two ways. Either she awakens when they need her the most and she brings the house down, or you find out she's been awake the entire time.
That's just how she is.
And she's just like, this is easier.
Yeah.
See, my oddball theory with her is, if you notice when she's wearing her own regular whatever clothes it was that she died in, that they all seem to default to when they're not, practicing or getting ready for performance.
Which is
she's
creepy.
dressed like a nun.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if like it's just a completely vacant body. There's nobody left there because God or something. I don't know.
Because God or something.
That works. I like that one.
She is literally just a zombie, and she's never going to change because her spirit has already moved on to heaven or something.
So I mean, I'm glad that you guys are on it. I saw like Delbert. I mean, Delbert almost turned me off of it because of him just ranting about how good it was. And then I could see through the waves of what this would become eventually, like, because I could see that this was obviously pull on the idol the idol genre in general, and also like they were obviously like B horror moving this shit, and I was happy about that. Like,
Yeah,
I really see where it would be a turnoff for other people.
Episode 1 had me out, but thankfully, since we do the 3-episode thing, episode 2 and 3 really started reeling me back in, and 2 especially. Like, I love the opening. I'm amazed at the vocal harmonies in the ending.
Yes.
Like, whoever it is, whether it's the actual voice actresses themselves that are doing that ending theme, like, they sound really damn good together.
Yeah.
Well, if they're sticking with the whole idol anime theme, then it is going to be the voice actors doing it.
And like, despite how much I hate the idol genre, like, this is so much more appealing and entertaining, and as the fact that we're having this discussion, thought-provoking than fucking racehorse girls who are also idols.
I'll take undead waifus over horse waifus any day.
And the little details too, like the fact that you could hear the difference when the 2 veteran idols joined in the group.
Yep.
And suddenly everything sounded a million times better. Number 1, because they've got 2 pros singing with them, but number 2, because hey, there's 2 missing harmonic parts filled in.
Yeah.
The fact that you can tell the courtesan was beheaded.
Yes.
I want that story.
Yeah, I sincerely hope we do end up getting backstories for each of them.
Yeah. We only really have backstory for the main character, Sakura.
Yeah.
Because we literally saw what happened.
And we kind of got one with the biker chick, the Tamagotchi girl.
Kind of, but they didn't actually go too deep into what happened.
Yeah.
She just died riding, apparently.
Yeah, but it's more than what we've gotten.
Ride free or die.
Hey, it's Polar Knights. Hi, Polar Knights.
All right, so let's move on into Goblin's lair.
Oh my god.
So, speaking of things that I have loved from the start.
Yes.
I hate the Isekai franchise. I fucking love this show.
Hey guys, we accidentally are fluff.
With moments of extreme horror.
Yeah, like it is the episode 2. Like episode 2 is not as horrific as episode 3, at least.
Yeah.
Where I mean, I watched episode 2 last week because I thought we were gonna do 1 and 2. Kind of like I watched episode 4 this week, so I'm gonna try not to thrust episode 4 stuff into this. I guess that's source material jerking. I don't know. Maybe.
Sip.
I'll take the sip.
Yeah.
Delicious Dr. Pepper.
So as soon as he steps out of the cave, he gets cornered by goblins.
Okay. The naming episode, though.
Yeah, that's next episode.
Okay.
Episode. No, just Veldora and Rimuru.
Oh yeah. No, yeah.
Other names.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Again, it's been a week since I've watched this episode.
That was so fucking cute. So they decide to give each other a family name.
Tempest.
Yeah, Storm. Wait, that sounds dumb. How about Tempest? And you see this. Speaking of 80s hair metal bands, that is a fucking metal band logo right there. And Rimuru becomes an elite.
Tempest. I fucking love it. I love Tsundere Dragon so much.
I know. I cannot wait to get Veldora back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that dragon is amazing. I mean, just
killing the snake thing and gaining its powers,
killing the chameleon thing, getting its powers, killing the spider, getting its powers. Which, by the way, shortly after that fight, when it's just swinging from the stalactite,
yes,
I'm sitting here, spider slime.
Yeah, he was. Puppies. Yeah. So, and we get to see them. We get to see Rimuru swallow Veldora and their prison whole.
Yeah, to analyze it to try and get Veldora out of there,
which is adorable.
Yeah, I'm gonna say big sister by eating her. Don't worry, Oni-chan, I'll spit you out eventually.
And then these adventurers show up.
Yeah, these random ass humans just show up and like they're flat out in an MMO, by the way. Like if you had any questions if it was just an MMO for the slime or not, nope.
And they vaguely sense the mage or the healer, I guess, vaguely sensed his presence because he didn't know he was
into some schmuck adventurers.
They're level 1. It explains why they didn't feel it.
Yeah.
Which begs the question, how strong is this slime already?
Incredibly, as we see in the next episode.
Well, I mean, not even that though. Like when he actually met the goblins, when he finally got out of the place and the goblins showed up, it like zoomed out. It's like, oh, you're exuding an aura, and it zooms out, and this is purple destruction aura.
I'm exuding an aura. Yeah, you know how you can see power levels of other things. Yeah, can I do that to myself? Yeah, sure. Here you go. Oh my God, I'm so strong.
I mean, so Veldora said that by taking on a shared family name, it would mark them as equals.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure that by getting a shared family name from an end game raid boss, Rimaru is now also an end game raid boss.
End game slime boss.
And like the funny thing is about it, like he gets stronger from there.
Yeah, he does.
And I also like the little side of, wait, how is no wonder everybody's sensing this. Wait, how did those adventurers not sense this? Are those guys okay?
Oh,
Like I said, they're level 1s.
Yes.
Throw in the shade.
Oh man, just so good. Like everything is so fantastic. Like in this show, and then we get episode 3.
One more thing. How he heals the goblins.
That's episode 3.
Yeah,
Is it?
episode 3? Yeah.
Okay.
Because episode 2 literally ends, "Hey, we're goblins. You're super strong. Please help us." Like you get the introduction to the elder and his son and the dead son, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
And then we get episode 3, where the dire wolves are attacking. Oh no! The pack alpha, like he's like, "Yep, I put up these strings, so you guys are just gonna die horribly. These goblins are gonna feel like they're doing something, but it's not them. It's just my strings. Sorry."
I mean, some of them were hitting the wolves with their arrows.
And then there was the elder.
Yeah, and then
He was trying.
I'm surprised the arrow didn't like turn back and like stab him.
Poor kid, poor guy.
I love
was
the
doing
elder
his
so
best.
much.
And then just hanging the alpha up, like, "Yeah, this is my sticky string. I'm gonna kill you."
No, you're not.
No, Windblade.
Waterblade.
He absorbs him and transforms into that
Like-
form.
Then he's like, "Hey, you guys should back off." All right, I should eat this guy. No.
You should really back off. I'm so menacing. Ow!
Menacing best power.
And then he turns the goblins into beastmasters.
By naming every single one of them, he's like, "Yep, this is your name. This is your name is now Rigurd. Is my Horsedad. You're just Rigurd. I'm sad Justin's not here that I can make that joke."
Right.
Justin.
Whatchamacallit? And then he kind of got like kind of lazy. You're Bogey.
Gobta,
Yeah.
Goblina, Gobte, Gobta,
Yeah.
Yeah. He was just
Gobhana.
And
just
he
literally putting like
Suffix, different syllables
kana,
on the
yeah,
ends of it.
kana
Yeah.
at the end of gob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you have Gopta, which you guys will know more about Gopta soon.
And then
like,
he names the
yeah,
lead
Hanama.
wolf.
Yeah, your name is Hanama. That's cool. Yeah, and then you are now the Tempest Wolf. Cool. Because
Ranga.
And then he
yeah,
and then
Ranga.
Rimaru, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Passes out because he's not realizing that he's using magic to name these.
Blue Wizard needs mana badly.
Right? Wakes up 3 days later to goblin waifus.
On an altar, which was adorable.
All of the goblin waifus. Every single one of the
One of
goblin.
Did you see the little like rice offerings they were leaving them? It was so
Mhm.
cute.
Yeah, they had this whole shrine around him. It's like, oh, he shall
Polished
awaken soon.
slime.
I am glad that we have approached Hanama as the new ravioli of the anime community. Justin would get that reference. I'm fairly sure, Delbert, you get that reference because you're a Reddit goer. Like as much as the show sexualizes her, the fan base is like, no, you are not allowed to sexualize her anymore. That's fine if you want to claim her as your waifu, but do not lewd her. She is bad enough as she is. You are not allowed to take this any deeper.
Do not lewd the Goblina.
No, yeah, ravioli, do not lewd the Goblina. Doesn't roll off as well as the dragon lolly, but you know. But yeah, it is like, and then like, yeah, I only named one of you wolves. The fuck is happening here?
We're a pack, bitch.
Yeah,
And
they all level up. I mean, you have some goblins that pretty much stay the same, but like they all grow
Literally
like
just Gobta.
Yeah, just Gobta. Trust me, you'll get more about Gobta.
yeah,
You didn't
and like
actually
they
touch it
all get buffed. Even the elder is buffed out.
No, the Elder is not buffed. The Elder is JoJo as
And he is so happy about it too.
Oh, yeah. He is so happy to be Joseph Joestar right now. Like,
And he's probably gonna level up again because he just got named Goblin Lord.
yeah, Goblin Lord. Oh yes.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. When he was naming them, I'm like, wait a second, they're just regular goblins. If you have a named character, that means that they're
an elite.
Yes.
Yeah, and they actually foreshadowed that too.
Notorious NPCs, like
Yeah, and they also foreshadowed that too, because every time he named somebody, there was just like nice yellow
Whoa.
behind them. So like that was just a way of saying he's using power here.
You level up, you level up, you level up. Everybody gets a level. Which, by the way, I love the fact that the dire wolves evolving into the tempest wolves just gave them leg wraps.
right.
And
Because they're
really
it's their
powerful
ninja leg
wagging.
wrap. Yeah.
Yes, the super wag.
Because that was my favorite moment when he woke up and Ranga came running in. Suddenly the house exploded.
Master! I think he likes it.
It was so good.
Oh yeah, I wonder if these guys are holding a grudge against me because I killed their leader. Wag, 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 wag. I guess not. It's probably just nature to them.
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
Well, I mean, yeah, he beat the leader, so he is the alpha.
Yeah, Rimuru is the alpha now.
Yeah, which they get into in episode 4. So
Yes. There you go, buddy.
But yeah, just
had
I
this
am
night
so down with the show. I am so happy with it. I love that it's playing with all of my favorite fantasy RPG tropes.
Yeah, like and again, like you have to understand that your audience is going to have seen Sword Art Online, ReZero, and things like that. That they're going to understand what isekai is, and you can't just do a rote isekai, or else it's just going to be miserable.
So, quick question. Carrie, are there any isekais that you enjoyed? Was it like just the first one you saw and that was it and you just got tired of them?
I saw Knights and Magic,
Mm-hmm.
which is technically isekai, even though you kind of forget that it's isekai sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just kept seeing shows. So and so dies and gets reborn into another world. So and so dies and gets reborn into another world. So and so dies and gets reborn into another world. And I just got tired of the concept on sheer principle because it seems. I know that is probably not the case. I am not trying to pass this off as a real statistic, but it feels like at least half the anime that have been coming out for the past couple of years have been fucking isekai.
So the definition of isekai is transported to another world, right?
A stranger in a strange land, basically.
Okay, so like the first,
even your devil is a part timer is an isekai.
yeah. So is Digimon, right?
Yeah. But I mean, like Konosuba is another amazing isekai. It's really good.
Konosuba's pretty hilarious. I've watched the first 2 seasons of it.
Yes.
I didn't watch the third one, but it's
Restaurant to Another World is really great on the because they do this on where that airs on the off seasons for Food Wars, so it always gets my food shown in.
it's your food porn.
Yeah.
And Devil is a Part-Time does something interesting where they flip it. Instead of going and being reincarnated into a fantasy land, the other land is Earth.
Yeah, I love how mundane
Mundane.
yes, that the devil is a part-timer is, because it's just him trying to survive, and then they show the hero doing the exact, just like working at a call center.
Woo! I got a promotion.
Am I the only one who watched the Dot Hack series when it was out?
I saw just the one that was on TV.
I watched some of it when it was running on Cartoon Network. I couldn't get the whole thing. I generally liked the idea, and I fucking loved the music.
Yeah, no, and like and there's a reason why that one is stuck in everybody's head, is because it is so like they do a lot with that too, and that's what a lot of the current, especially the MMO based isekai are based off of, is a lot of that / SAO.
But yeah, I mean, obviously not all isekai are bad, but
Yeah.
when you are scrolling through and you see summary of, so and so dies, one of them that came out last year or the year before, I think, was literally in another world with my cell phone.
Yes, that was
Like, come the fuck on. First of all, eventually it's going to run out of battery power.
right.
Yeah.
Secondly, why the fuck would it even matter? It's a cell phone.
So yeah, if you want a good isekai, there you go. Konosuba's really good. The Dot Hack series is amazing. Ro, I know you've seen it, but for those at home, Devil's a part-timer. If you want more of what you're getting,
Fantastic.
Slime is probably like it is definitely my favorite anime of the year. Like I put this up there when I was watching it with Rachel, up there with even Mummy on how much I love it, and I think I might love it more because there's actually stuff going on.
I hope it doesn't get too serious. I hope it keeps its goofiness.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
about to go meet Gimli, so
yeah.
Yeah, I doubt that. I'm waiting for the dwarves to turn out to be like the ridiculously busty purple-haired chick that's in the opening sequence.
Yeah, the sheer amount of boobs in that opening, I don't think the dwarves are going to be what we're expecting.
Oh yeah, the elves did no. Yeah, the
Oh.
elves didn't happen in this episode, did they?
No, all that's in there is the goblin and the wolves.
That's right. We didn't.
And
yeah,
episode 3, he's like, "Oh, the masters of metalworking," and you get like Tolkien-ass dwarves in the background as he's thinking about them, and it's like, oh, that is so not what they're going to be like.
and right, moving on to Gridman.
I fucking love Gridman.
Neon Genesis High Middle School.
yeah.
Just had to throw that out there real quick.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, it's like that. All right, so we are flat out doing that. Cool. I didn't particularly like the first episode, and something tells me I wasn't supposed to like the first episode.
The first episode was a shitload of setup.
Yeah, like, and for me, that's not really a great episode, especially for a first episode.
Right. Understandable.
Give me a little bit of lead in and then second episode build up, but not the first episode. I mean, there was no way that I was going to not continue watching this with it being a Trigger show, regardless of the source material or like what it's paying homage to or anything like that. Like, I'm fairly sure at this point we are contractually obligated to watch anything the Studio Trigger puts out. So
why did Promare have to be a movie / Promare is a movie? I mean, come on, Trigger with a fucking movie budget.
Yeah. So yeah, first episode I was not a fan of. We got stereotypical kaiju pop up. By the way, I am being the filthy dub watcher in this one, so this makes me happy that we're getting a simul dub.
That's fine.
It wasn't until the second. Well, okay, yeah, this one, you just had the monster pop up, and then just the hey, I need you to do this. Boom.
Yep. We stumbled. Like, turns out, turns out, good waifu has linked to this computer that nobody knows what the hell they do with, and we go there, and there's this monster raging. Oh no, only these 3 people. Punch it. Okay, we're gonna punch it, and then we're gonna do the old
the beam
thing. It's like, oh cool, yay, we're back in the 90s. Sweet, cool. I miss Matthew Lawrence being in this show, and also give me back my Tim Curry.
Oh.
Yeah, spoiler alert for those watching at home. We got Gridman once before here in the States.
Yeah, we did.
It was a little live action number we got called Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad.
Cyber with
Cyber
an
was
S.
spelled with an S, by the way, which means the show was abbreviated SSSS. Gridman.
Yep. So yeah, they're that's what they're pulling out on that one. I freaking love that.
It's more than a little pull from that too, but we'll get there.
And then episode 2 happens, and this is where Trigger starts being Trigger.
Yeah. Hey, look at that. The city's fine. Who are you talking about? Those people?
They've been dead
I
for
don't know
like
who you're talking about. Okay, let's go to their houses. These girls have been dead since middle school.
Oh yes.
What?
Yeah. At the end of the battle of the first episode, giant fireball destroys the gym where these 3 girls are at.
Where the
It wrecks
volleyball
the
club is
school in general.
practicing.
It wrecks the school in general. And
Yeah.
yeah, when they go to school the next day, everything's fine, which
Yeah.
is a joke in tokusatsu. The fact that, there's never any lasting damage to the city. The construction crews in Japan are godlike in their ability to restore things.
I mean, they can't be any worse than America. We're slow on restoring things.
No, they actually had like a sinkhole form at a major intersection, and they fixed it up like within what was it, 24 hours? Do you remember that, Josh?
Yes, I remember that. It was like 20 feet across for the sinkhole. It took them 24 hours to get it fixed up.
Go
But
figure.
yeah, episode ends, things are destroyed, they go back to school, everything's fine. Something's not right here. Roll episode 2.
And only 4 people remember it.
Yep. Protag's best friend, good waifu, and evil waifu.
Yeah, I had an idea that it was her.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously something was up with her because one, the perfect girl. Everyone at school loves her. She's got the alternate hair color.
Yep.
She's super mispopular. Clearly something is going on with her. Maybe she's the magical MacGuffin princess. Nope.
Evil waifu.
This is some hikikomori, antisocial, society-hating, fucked up bitch.
Yep.
And I love it.
Yeah. No, I mean like people hating. She planned to kill those 3.
Yeah, she's like, I wanted these guys dead, and now they're
Yeah,
dead.
because they hit her with the volleyball.
Specifically, they hit her sandwich with the volleyball.
Well,
her
it was a
favorite
sandwich. It was a
Her
sandwich
favorite.
hot dog with an egg on top, wasn't it?
That's a typical sandwich in Japan. They do weird things with sandwiches.
Typical.
Yeah,
sandwich.
that's it. Coop's pointing it out in chat. Like, she's set up in the first episode as being Little Miss Perfect, and it's like, okay, something's going to be going on with her, but they do the trigger thing, and she's actually the bad guy, or at least one of them.
So, it shows that her glasses are are cracked when she's in front of her computer. They're not cracked when she's in school, right?
It's got to be a different pair.
Yeah.
And I don't think she actually wears the glasses at school. Is the thing.
No, she
Oh,
doesn't.
okay.
She might be taking them off or just wearing contacts, but yeah, that's a visual metaphor for her cracked psyche if I've ever seen one.
Oh, and you see her where she's living at?
Yeah,
Yeah.
piles and piles and piles of trash bags everywhere, but perfectly immaculate display cases for her collection.
Because we quickly find out that she is.
Don't
Raider-
summon any kaiju, Josh.
Fucking kaiju.
Please don't summon kaiju, Josh.
I
Hey, do
would
you see any
never.
garbage bags back there? You're fine. And his glasses aren't cracked. I make sure of that.
Yet.
I have a feeling like if Josh would ever if there was ever a scratch on Josh's glasses, Carrie would be like 20 miles away. He's like, I fear a disturbance.
There's a disturbance in the force.
The blood imagery, you're really hung up on that, Coop, for whatever reason.
I mean, I get it.
Like, it's a trigger show. You're gonna have blood. You're gonna have weirdness. Like, it's.
I mean, to be entirely fair, he doesn't have quite as much experience with Trigger as.
This is his first Trigger anime.
It's true.
Oh,
So,
But yeah.
So far,
Um,
couple other things
But-
from the second episode, from the first episode carryover that I really want to go into about is our mysterious man in the suit.
Caliber.
who we see in the first episode being just looming and creepy. And this guy's obviously the bad guy. He shows up in the second episode with what, 3-4 samurai swords on his back?
Yes, I think it's like
Yeah.
Introduces himself as Samurai Caliber. And it's like, what's this guy's story? He can't walk through a doorway. He can't. This guy isn't human.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what was I gonna?
I either went digital virus or alien, and that went pretty quickly to alien. Like, and then
Yeah.
I realized what studio was putting this out. I'm like, nope, that's aliens.
Yeah. So like right there where no one's noticing him, he has a perception filter, just like the TARDIS.
Well,
Yeah.
not to mention he shows up when they're talking about aliens.
Yeah.
I don't quite think it's aliens specifically, because the thing about Gridman is he's the hyper detective Gridman. He solves cyber crime.
They're aliens in that they are not native to this plane of existence, but they're not necessarily from another planet.
Yeah, this dude's straight up a living computer program, is what he be.
Mm-hmm.
Wait. If they zoom out and we're inside of a computer program, if they reboot us,
I would not put it past Rigurd at all to do that.
But yeah, so Gridman's fighting a baddie, and go figure, the monster has a reflective coating on it that the grid beam can't penetrate. Well,
Oh.
fuck, that can't be good. Oh, access code, Gridman Caliber.
one thing before we get to
Episode
he upgrades the computer.
Just rips it apart.
poor Junk. Don't mess with Junk.
Also,
Yeah.
can we talk about how he looks like Aizawa? Because I love that.
Yes, as soon as I saw him, Aizawa?
He's
that
a sleepy boy.
This is what he does during the off season of My Hero.
Aha.
My Cyber Academia.
My,
And-
my hero Gridman.
Oh,
I mean,
And so we have a buildup of our shonen power up in episode 2. That means episode 3 has to be where the bad guys win at least a little bit, right?
at least a little bit. We get Auntie,
Yeah.
little shit kid with a voracious appetite and a bitchin' scarf.
Hi, Bakura. How are you doing? I saw him. Last episode we have Aizawa from My Hero. This one we have Bakura from Yu-Gi-Oh. The fuck is going on here?
And I really love, by the way, the fact that Utsumi, Turbo Shirt best friend,
Yeah.
keeps referencing, well, if this was the Ultra series, in which he's referencing the Ultraman series, which is a beloved Toku franchise, and where Gridman borrows a lot of his look from and his moves, Grid Beam Yo.
so Gridman is like a tribute to Ultraman series, right?
It's technically in the genre. It's just not officially an Ultraman, because the thing about Ultraman is always a human who is fighting some sort of alien, man-made, monstrous creation, and he get big. Is the whole thing. He turns into a giant to fight giants.
Yep.
Whereas with Gridman, the previous series took place entirely electronically. Like
Mhm.
Gridman was there to solve cyber crimes. He was fighting computer viruses.
Which now that would actually be really good, wouldn't it?
Well, if we
In
get
this
one-
day and age.
So he's an Ultraman in spirit, but not in name.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's really nice that character keeps referencing it. So, well, if this was an Ultra series, the monster would have a weak point. Oh, hey, look, break its neck.
Yeah.
Its
Oh,
big,
what did
wobbly
he?
rubber suit neck.
Yes, I love the animated rubber suits, by the way. They're the best.
What's the squad called? Is it Gridman Squad?
Gridman
Gridman
Alliance.
Gridman Alliance.
That is even that way in the dub.
I want to point out quickly too that she's been clearly working on these for a while, and I'm super curious why the first one she actually released was so weak, whereas this other one, the second one, is like, reflective coding, go.
Right?
Well,
Well,
she
the first one
upgraded the second one in response to Gridman, because she didn't know that Gridman was going to show up. She just needed something that was going to kill those girls and cause a ruckus. And then Gridman showed up and fought them, and so she's like, "Oh shit, I need to account for this." And she tweaked the next one she sent out in response.
Yeah,
Because
First one was just evil Gridman being like, "Nope, you want to kill those girls? Sweet, I can give you that power."
Instant abreaction.
Because then you notice with Auntie, he can mimic powers. So when Gridman gets a sword, he gets claws.
Yeah.
Everything she does is a response to what Gridman does to try and beat her.
And then
Third episode happens.
yeah, then Auntie wins, and Gridman's dead, and that's the series. Bye, everybody. Oh, this is a Toku show. You didn't think that
Right.
was going to
Typical
go on.
trigger.
Right.
So yeah, we get 3 more aliens who were wearing very similar outfits to not Aizawa.
Yeah. Oh, the reason why he gets defeated is that he doesn't want to kill something that he thinks
Because
that might
Utsumi
be.
makes the stupid mistake of thinking, well, in the Ultra series, sometimes the kaiju are humans who are turned into monsters. Which, of course, makes Hibiki go, well, I can't kill a person. And he gets his ass handed to him.
Yep.
He's just lucky that Auntie had the conversation with Akane, and he's like, "No, you're not a human. You're definitely a kaiju."
But I could dealt without her doing footsie with
Yeah, that was
That is there strictly because 1, she fucked up. 2, she fucked up.
yeah.
3, as obvious by the state of her living conditions, she really, really, really loves monsters.
Yeah, she want that kaiju D, big time. And then 3 more people show up in very similar outfits to Soul Calibur.
Yeah, it turns out they're middle school uniforms.
They're students from Neon Genesis.
Middle school. Get in the mech, Shinji.
get in the goddamn robot.
It's great because, as I recall, some of the crew from Trigger were from Evangelion.
Yeah,
So they're basically like, hey guys, reference.
yeah, because Trigger was formed in large part from former members of Studio Gainax.
I'm just like, if they're willing to put it out that bad, like that blatant of a reference, I'm waiting for them to be like, nope, this is our garden where we grow people.
Or just introduce a new antagonist named Shinji.
But yeah,
One of the kaiju's named Shinji. It just transforms into the
No,
mech.
you know what? I think it's gonna be a little bit more subtle. I think it's gonna be like, you're gonna go into what's his name? The Ultraman fans room.
Utsumi.
Utsumi, yeah.
Into his room, and it's gonna be all mecha. It's gonna be Josh's room.
I mean, or good wife who is gonna dress up and just have pink horns on her head one day for a Halloween episode.
Yeah, if they go into his room and it's like Josh's room, I hope to see the Evangelions. I hope to see the Franks. Just give them all and
The Gurren Lagann, the spirals.
everything. Bring it on.
Yeah, the guy's entire room is just going to be a love reference to Trigger's work. That'd be fantastic.
Just a half covered up picture from the Brain Children one.
I mean, the jump
Kids
cut
Never.
edits.
Yeah, Kids Never. There we go.
The jump cut edits in the first episode very much reminded me of FLCL.
Oh yeah. I can definitely see that.
FLCL.
Coolly.
Oh, okay.
Made by Trigger before they were Trigger.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's why it's so similar to like Kill la Kill, Gurren Lagann. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now you get it.
FLCL is basically proto Trigger.
Okay.
It was the people who did Evangelion having driven themselves batshit insane making Evangelion, needing to let off steam.
As you do. Evangelion drove everyone mad.
So who's doing the 2 sequels
This might be
for?
Same people.
heard somebody call it unironically FLCL. That's hurting my head, Carrie.
Goody.
Yeah. So it's the same people. It's Trigger doing the 2 sequels, right?
Yeah, it's all the same people because I mean, there was a big thing that they were afraid that the main, like the freaking people who did the opening weren't going to do the openings.
Oh,
The
the
pillows.
pillows.
All of the music is the thing. It wasn't just the opening or anything like that. All of the music from Fooly Cooly was the pillows. And if
It's
they didn't get them on board, it wouldn't have worked.
yeah,
Because the music is half of that show.
yeah. The same thing with Cowboy Bebop, right? The music made that show.
But yeah, so we get this the second round of the fight with Auntie, which, by the way, he's your friend. Don't you have a way to get a hold of him?
Yeah, I suppose we could call him. Yeah, why didn't you think of that?
Oh,
It would be awfully convenient if you had some sort of device that you could get in contact with him.
But I like how
the cell phone wouldn't work.
Yeah, I like
Boop.
that. Even when dude comes back, he's like, "Yeah, I didn't think the cell phone would work. Neither did we. But get the mech, Shinji."
Oh, and can we talk about really quick
Yes.
the issues that Auntie has?
I mean,
That
he's
is-
just one who hates. It's her fractured mentality. Like this auntie is created strictly to murder Gridman. Like there's no other reason for his existence. And also maybe give her the D. Because
He doesn't even seem to, be into that, because his interest seems to be destroying Gridman and food.
so he's Goku.
Yeah.
She made Goku. But guess what? Goku put the D into Chi-Chi twice at least.
I'm pretty sure that he needed some significant help in achieving that.
I mean, blue senzu beans and all.
Damn it, CJ. Okay, so they Gridman comes back because it needed time to cool down, or it needed some repair time.
he had a refractory period.
Yeah,
He rebooted.
and then the big muscle guy comes in. I'll help you. Goes
was-
in.
Max.
Max! I was expecting him either to be what he was or like the tiniest of like speed forms. Like,
I would have been happy with that trope subversion, but I'm also just very happy to see them doing this.
Yes.
Because here's the thing. Going into episode 1 and 2, I was pretty much calling everything as it happened, because this is my jam. This is my happy place. This is where I sit. I love this sort of stuff, and I know enough of it to be able to, kind of piece together where things are going. And as I mentioned earlier, Gridman is getting a lot of little, nice little touches and nods from the previous Gridman that we're actually a little bit familiar with, that we got as Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad. In that series, the main characters' best friends all had support vehicles that could combine with Servo, as we got him in the States, Gridman, to get these powered up forms. And I'm sitting here thinking through episode 1 and 2, Utsumi and Good Waifu are going to be those support characters.
yeah.
Once they get in sync enough, they're going to be pulled in as well and be given the support craft that allow Gridman to access his higher abilities. Apparently not so far,
No.
because we get Buff Mask Man coming in with the tanker that turns into just a gigantic pair of fists.
Yes.
Optimus Prime is on the scene.
And who is it? Is it the crazy waifu that's like, what is that? How does that work?
Yeah, what is even this?
Hold up.
And
What the fuck is happening?
I love the little things, like the fact that the gigantic shoulders for the arm upgrades have the S's on them.
Yes.
And yeah, we get Max Gridman.
So we're just gonna keep doing. So we're gonna spend the next 2 episodes at least getting more power up forms.
And
Well, yeah,
then
because the other student they mentioned by name, Borr, Borr.
Yeah.
If you pay attention to the opening sequence, you see a form of Gridman that has 2 giant drills. So we know what she's going to turn into.
And guess what we're doing again, guys? We're doing the trigger circle jerk once again. Yay!
Drills!
No, this is not a drill.
They're just really drilling it home that they really like spiralized things that impact things and push them into things.
Also, I love that it's the little girl with the pigtails.
Yeah, the
Like the only way they could have been
Twin tails.
more on the nose with that was if it was drill tails.
yes.
Just a small aside about that. I randomly pulled up the Wikipedia for Gridman because I was reading up on it. Forgot the names of characters. In the Japanese version, Boar is said to be male by the voice actor, whereas the voice actor for the dub says she's female.
Interesting.
They do that pretty commonly with the I hate this term, the Trav characters.
I know, but I don't feel like Funimation would actually push that. Whatever these two might have worked together to make that decision themselves, but Funimation would.
It also may just be the Japanese language being weird.
Yeah.
There was a huge hullabaloo back in the day about a character by the name of Vivian from a little game called, what was it, Paper Mario?
I remember that.
I remember who you're talking about, yeah.
She was this amorphous purple blob thing with a witch hat that had a very feminine shape. And for years, people were pitching a fit that she was a trans character because in the Japanese, her sisters would refer to her using primarily male inflective pronouns. However, they were doing that because Japanese is a strange language and they were basically insulting her.
Yeah. Like that is the fun part of having that many levels of pronouns for primarily masculine and feminine characters. English buries that down to he, she, and they. Like, so in Funimation, especially with a trigger product, especially one like this that has the money behind it that this one does, Funimation obviously, and they do this with all of their simuldubs that they put out day and date of when the Japanese comes out. Like, there is a ton of research and lore and love put into these, because there was an interview with Chris Sabat when they were simuldubbing My Hero day and date. He was up like 5 nights a week until 3 a.m. working on scripts and things like that, because they had to get it out the day of. So Funimation don't fuck around with things that they release like this.
So we'll see how it goes. I'm looking forward to seeing whether or not my initial assumption eventually pays off and those two do get their own access codes, or if it's just the Neon Genesis crew, which I'm never going to get tired of saying that. It's hilarious.
All right. And I think that's all our shows, right, for this week?
Yeah, absolutely. We're not leaving anything out.
Love you, CJ.
Sin is not normally wrath, but God. God, Raul Michelle Garza, so help me God.
Did you just say Raul Michelle?
Yes.
Because you forgot
I'm
my
not
middle
actually
name.
mishearing things. You actually called him Michelle.
You forgot my middle name.
Damn it, Paul.
I don't know your
Damn it, Paul.
I don't know your middle name, so you just have Michelle as your middle name.
Okay.
I'm just gonna go back and hack your birth certificate. When you look at it next, it will just say Raul Michelle Garza.
Raul Michelle Rodriguez Garza.
Now
All
I'm
right.
just thinking of the scene where Vash introduces himself.
Yes.
Blue Stradivari Deutzel Kaiser III.
All right. 7 Deadly Sins. I kind of like this show. Guys.
Just a little bit, CJ. Just a little bit, but it's okay, because now I can kind of understand a little bit.
Thank God.
I missed that first opening though. That opening was so good.
I like the second opening better. The Man on a Mission, 7 Deadly Sins one.
Yeah, Man with a Mission is definitely the strong opening for this series so far.
Yeah, the third
are so good.
The third one's pretty good too, but yeah, it is no Man with Mission like that. That is actually legitimately on like my Spotify playlists that I play alongside other fantastic English rock songs. I love that song so fucking much.
It was neat seeing Flo pop up in the credits again though, because holy fuck.
Flo X Grand Rodeo, who did the first opening theme.
Yep. So first season, shit happened. We tried reviving the Demon Clan. Hey, I'm fairly sure we fixed that, you guys. Nope.
Let fucking Dreyfus die already. Come on. I mean, I'm pretty sure he is dead, actually. And that he's just been taken over.
Yeah, Dreyfus.
That is 100% a fucking puppet body.
Oh yeah, no, he is a puppet body, and all right, so I can appreciate what you guys deal with My Hero, but I'm not gonna do it because I'm better than this. Yeah,
Hands over the bang drink thing. What?
yeah, he's absolutely currently possessed.
Drink.
Dell
for
stepped
whatever-
out because he has not gotten caught up on 7 Deadly Sins.
No, it's not a drink. Like, it is very obvious. Like, they reveal that in the first episode. He's talking to Hendrickson, and it's like he has the devil mark over his head, or the demon mark over his head.
Yeah, and he's like, this man asked me to let you live, so bye.
Yeah, no, that's not me doing. That's not me referencing source material. He spells it out in episode 1.
And I like is it Hawk? Yeah. He gets the power level scouter.
The captain.
I actually hated that.
So the power.
I am so tired of power levels.
The power
Yeah,
level,
but then Merlin calls him out on it, where it's like,
Yeah, that can actually fluctuate a lot. Let's stop running CJ over.
sorry.
no, so the power level thing is very hit and miss with the online community itself. Part of it is because this show does have a ton of love letters towards Toriyama and Dragon Ball Z. Like, there are huge swaths of it that if you put it up against things that are going on in Dragon Ball Z, it is very obvious that this is where they got a lot of that from. The power levels was just that whole thing. But just like in Dragon Ball Z, power levels are bullshit. So the scores are made up and the points don't matter because
pretty much. But it was one of those things where it's like it's superfluous. Like, why even add it in there if you're just going to say right away, oh, by the way, these are kind of a joke. They can fluctuate based on a lot of factors.
It could be them just pointing it out, but I mean,
that's 100% it. The mangaka for this is like I said, a huge loves older shonen. So we're gonna point this out, but immediately, unlike Dragon Ball Z, where Frieza's power level is supposed to matter and things like that. What do you mean Frieza's power level is 490,000? Oh my god! So they get it, the fact that technically on a power level, Merlin is stronger than Meliodas.
So basically what this seems like from your explanation and my own experience with the episode is that it's a reference that potentially got a little bit too much spotlight.
Yes, 100%. And the online community kind of hates the fact that it has gotten as much spotlight as it has.
I forgot one thing. When Hawk first gets it, stare.
Yes, stare. Hawk is the best. Like the Lord Hawk, Master Hawk is just the best.
Captain of the Order of Scraps Disposal.
Yeah.
And he's there eating the scraps right in front of the king.
And the
Hawk
king's like,
don't
the
know this
order
shit.
of what?
Yeah.
Order of Scraps Disposal.
And
Okay.
Scraps Disposal. No, the Order of Scraps Disposal, Daddy. Oh, the Order of Scraps.
The king just rolls with it. He knows that these people are fucking nuts.
Yeah, the King's been through some shit last season, so I was like, yep, I will call them whatever the hell they want me to call them at this point.
I remember when I first saw this series, and it's just like, okay, this tavern, this bar is called the Boar's Hat. Okay, and then it's literally a boar's hat.
Yeah.
By the way, I love this, going into a little bit of first impressions here because we haven't touched on this show before. I love that there's a gender fluid character.
Oh yeah.
Gother?
Yeah. They have no gender. They are just Gother. And his sin is lust, but not in a sexual way. His sin is lust for learning, and that is the best.
I was really happy about that when that started to come to light, and then they introduced Merlin.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, hey, look, the chick who's barely wearing any clothes isn't the sin of lust.
Yeah. Though Josh did laugh at me for every time Merlin appearing on screen, me yelling at her to put on clothes.
What is Merlin?
She's the sin of gluttony.
Yeah.
Ah.
Probably because she's power hungry.
She is 100%. She is. They reference the fact that, um, fuck it, drink. They get to the fact that she is basically at this point a chimera. Like she has so much magical energy inside of her that she is no longer human. Fuck it, I'll take that one.
It's okay. You put up with it enough from us that we can't be upset when you do it for your favorite series.
Yeah.
We will give you that.
So if you haven't gotten the point of it, there are you guys have only seen the fact that none of the sins are humans anymore. Because even Bon cannot be considered a human because he is an immortal.
Yeah. He was human.
He is no longer.
Which, by the way, Bon best character, fight me.
No, Bon is the
Fucking love Bon.
100% best character. Like he is like everybody like the big joke of it being Hawk is the best character, Hawk is the strongest character and everything like that. No, Bon is this series Vegeta because he is the character that gets the most character growth, and he doesn't stop growing. Like Meliodas is a little bit of a one-note character. He gets some growth, but like Bon is 100% Vegeta in this. Like he just continuously grows as a person and as a character, and I fucking love him.
And I love the casual disregard of some of the less fun male stereotype tropes. Like here's one of the toughest characters in the series, arguably the manliest of manly men in the cast, and he's wearing a logo branded apron while cooking.
Yep.
And he's the best cook in the cast.
Outside of the obvious fan service with people like Merlin and a couple of the other characters, like they do a lot of playing with gender stereotypes in this, and the fact that Gother exists is the pure like one of the main reasons for that. We've gotten away from what this show where they're talking about season 2 episode 1, which was basically just building up to the revival of the Demon Clan.
The 10 Commandments.
Yeah, they were only able to bring 9 of them over because they didn't have enough power. Right?
The 10th one is already.
Yeah, the 10th one was Dreyfus. Is Dreyfus.
Oh, okay.
Will be, possibly, maybe, soon to be, is, was, always was Dreyfus.
Okay.
The once and future Dreyfus.
The once and future Dreyfus. That's even like, okay, I haven't read this arc in a long ass time. So like, I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot that was a thing. Oh, right. That's a thing. And then, all right, so I watched 5 episodes of this. So I'm trying to remember where episode 2 ends.
2 ends at the Fairy King's Forest.
Okay, cool. Is this the one where Deanne and Gother?
No. Wait, no. Okay.
No, this they go to the Fairy King's forest, and all of the fairies are like, "Hey, Fairy King Bon," and Bon is like, "You guys fucking knock it off. Your king's right there. Go fucking deal with your problems."
Fuck Harlequin.
And then he tells Harlequin same thing. Hey, go fucking sort out your shit with your people, or just go somewhere else. And then we get back to Leonis, and we discover that what we thought was Gother's potentially super cute ship with Gila is not so super cute or consensual in the least.
Oh.
Yeah. So I'm not going to tell why, and I don't care. I'll take a drink. There are reasons. This is not just a character flip for him. This is not just a heel. This is not just a heel turn for him.
Well, they got into it a little bit where he, first of all, goes off his meds.
Yep.
And second of all, he's like, I want to understand what love is, therefore I will experience love. He just does not know that this is not the appropriate way to go about that.
Yeah. And nobody
can't learn emotions is the thing, and that's what they're not grasping. Emotions are something you can read about, but you can't learn from reading, and you can't treat them like a lab experiment.
Yeah.
You can't say, "Hey, I'm going to go study love today. Let's do love." That's not how that works.
Yeah.
If anything, Gother is a really strong example for the way autism can work in some people.
Yes, and that is actually something that the mangaka has said. He wanted Gothar to not just be Data, basically, from Star Trek. He wanted each of these characters to be relatable on different levels. And Gothar was one of those ones where he was realizing, especially in Japanese culture, there's not a lot of ASD representation. He wanted Gothar.
This is a character that does not understand how to people.
Yeah,
literally.
And he wanted, and that's what he wanted Gothar to be.
I wonder what it would be like to be autistic in Japanese society, because on one hand, their society, even more than ours, revolves around being able to cohabitate with other people and coexist. But on the other hand, the rules are a lot more explicit.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine.
And then Jericho is all over Bond.
Oh, Jericho was up on Bond's bond at the end of season 1.
when
I tore her clothes off once
and caught her while she was falling naked through the sky.
And then you saved my life. Yeah, but I like Bond's mentality of just, I took her clothes off once, and King's like, the fuck? Dude, you have my sister. Yeah, I took her clothes off though. What's the big deal?
Yeah, and then he actually explains like, yeah, she gave me the seed and I just planted it. I mean, I didn't do much.
Yeah, I just saved the entire forest. No big deal.
Just save literally magic on this plane. Not a big deal. But I really just want my girlfriend back.
Sorry, go ahead.
And that's Bond's character. Like, he finds a person that he loves, and he will literally go to all realms of creation for this person.
He is literally trying to steal her from death.
Yes.
Yeah. Is it in this episode or at the end of the first episode where they're like, oh yeah, the giants and fairy magic has gone down. The humans rule this world now.
That was this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, as the 10 commandments were, busting out of their seal, basically. It's like, oh yeah, the giant and fairy populations are way down.
Yeah. So the weakest race is now in charge? Yeah, cool. Let's kill them.
Let's fuck shit up.
Yeah, but they also say that we're weak. We have to rest.
Yeah. So the reason why Carrie's nickname was what it was is not because of my knowledge of the thing, because Rachel only's watched the anime with me twice. I've seen the anime 7 or 8 times now. Rachel was watching this, and at the end of episode 1, Zeldoris shows up. Zeldoris, however the fuck they pronounce it in the dub. Zeldoris shows up, and she's like, "That's Meliodas' brother." I'm like, "Damn it."
I mean, it's kind of super fucking obvious. They've got the same facial structure.
Yeah.
They've got the same face.
Yeah, and she's just like, "That's Meliodas' brother." I'm like, "No."
It's totally not. It's the protagonist from Tales of Symphonia.
So that was that call out on that one. Rachel got a pop on the show because that I thought that was funny. Yeah, like Bond just, I can't go on enough about Bond just as a character. Harlequin is another one who has a ton of depth to him that on surface level you just kind of ignore because he's comedy relief until he's not. But that's kind of all these characters. Like they are goofy and they're slapsticky and they're weird, but they have layers. Even Meliodas, who's close enough to a shonen protagonist as there is, he has deep layers.
He does. Some of them are a little bit concerning.
Yes.
Like, I am very much wondering how, and like I was telling Josh earlier, I have trouble actually shipping him and Elizabeth because I just can't help but wonder how much of their relationship is him projecting Liz onto her.
No.
I mean, for all I know, she might be a reincarnation, but there are a lot of times where he's thinking about Elizabeth and it flashes back to Liz.
No, she is not a reincarnation of Liz.
CJ doing.
Wait, I'm like, there is a tree. There is a tree. I had to remember where on the tree Liz was.
It's so great that there's a tree.
It's the shipping tree.
It is the shipping tree. And Liz and Elizabeth, while they have the same name, that is the only commonality between the two of them.
Same name and the same face, anyways.
Yeah, that's the only commonality between the two of them. And there are so his weird sexual things are
super annoying,
but as with everything else, and as I so lovingly now understand from you guys saying this to me every fucking week on My Hero Food Wars, there's a reason and you'll get there. Also drink.
Yeah, no, welcome to the club.
You understand how it feels now.
It's gonna be even worse when Justin's on here next show. Because Justin and I, like, even though he's sick, like he and I had an hour and a half conversation about the recent arc of the manga of Seven Deadly Sins for an hour and a half today.
I think I'm going to be sick next week.
That's fine, whatever.
Ouch.
Ouch.
Shots fired. Yeah, I mean, just generally overall.
The fuck?
Oh, mixing soda followed.
Oh, thanks,
Thank
Mixin'
you.
Soda.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, just I'm really satisfied with the way this show is going, because a lot of things it's playing straight and a lot of things it's playing not so straight.
And
a lot of things it's playing Gother.
Yes, a lot of the things that you think are straight, like there are spins and turns and takes on it that I fucking love.
And just the cast overall, I'm really happy with. I'm sad that Gother is not actually a big hulking suit of armor person.
Yeah, that was fun.
It's interesting what they're doing with Merlin and King Arthur.
Yeah,
which in and of itself was kind of funny.
Yeah, that was fun.
I fucking love Hauser.
Puppy bit. Ow.
Hauser is adorable.
I love
Oh my
Hauser so
gosh.
much.
I am so glad that he and the Night Bros had their they're not villains anymore.
Yeah, Gil Thunder is not the villain. Like Gil Thunder gets so much growth that I.
Oh, Lil Gil.
That was a noise. My dog.
They like Gil Thunder too.
Yeah, my dogs are Gil Thunder fans. All right, let's go ahead and wrap this up. I'm excited. I'm so glad that this did not get into the point of like me being like, yes, this is my favorite show, and especially Josh and Carol like, no, I fucking hate this show.
I mean, the only thing I really don't like about the series so far is all of the boob butt gags.
Yeah.
Like I can do without the overt sexualization sometimes, but I'm a guy. I like boobs.
Yeah.
Especially like it would be one thing if it was like they were in a relationship already and she was okay with this, but no, it's hi, nice to meet you. I don't care if you agree to this. I'm grabbing your boobs.
Yeah. And she's the only girl he does that with though. So
yeah, but still, he doesn't really seem to bother to check if it's okay with her. And as much as I do like this series, that is one thing that I am not ever going to be okay with.
Yeah, I feel you, and it does take a while for that payoff to happen, and it's annoying. The main thing that is annoying on it is that it does keep happening. Eventually, obviously, now they are in a full blown relationship. And yell at me because they haven't directly said it in the anime. It's fucking obvious. It takes them a while to be in the relationship, and it takes them a while to explain the reason why he is so immediately touchy grabby feely lovey on her.
So hands on.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let us go ahead and
wrap this sucker up.
Wrap it up. Bye, Radiant. Just go out the door. See you later. I don't need you anymore.
Maybe your future will look brighter.
Maybe.
Do we want to swap anything in for it at this time, or are we just gonna kind of?
Well, we have 4 shows without that, so like
this is true.
Yeah, I mean, if we find like a good like something that's like really getting big, that's like, oh, this isn't shonen, but it's like a really good like slice of life or something like that.
There's not really any of that this season though. Like none that are getting huge pulls. Like
We don't have any Ancient Mangus Bright this season.
no.
Wait, has it been is this our holy crap?
Yeah, this is our we are going into our 1 year anniversary the Monday after Extra Life.
God damn.
Y'all.
Yeah. So yeah, we are going into our first year at the end of after Extra Life. And so, by the way, speaking of Ancient Magus Bride, it made me very depressed that we are probably never getting a season 2 of that. Because all of the material that's being put out for it, releasing the box set, is all the complete series.
That's sad.
That makes me
But I mean, at least it ended well, right? It didn't.
There are so many questions.
I know there's so many questions still.
It had a good ending, but I have a feeling they're saying that in preparation because they probably haven't confirmed anything yet.
I hope so.
But they're probably saying like, look, we want to try and get more from this.
Also, yeah, this show is so perfect. I mean, you yourself call it damn near perfect. Would you rather it end here or would you rather it Inuyasha this?
Oh, absolutely, end it here. Like just because I'm sad doesn't mean that I can't appreciate where it ends.
Yeah.
And damn near perfect is only because that second opening.
There were little itty bitty like trips and like stumbles here and there in the show, but like nothing that was more than a couple seconds, and then moving back onto the best piece of television still that I have seen in a very long time. All right. Remember, because I don't do Patreon pimps this time of year, go over to geek-io.net/extra life to figure out what we are going to be doing for charity on November 3rd. 25 hours worth of charity. There will be charity event streaming. There will be exploding dice. There will be Josh and I doing 20XX from the couch, me making him go crazy because
God damn speed belts.
There's going to be headbanging to keep some of us awake.
Yeah. There's going to be a lot of people at my house.
Cherry Blossom might make a few appearances.
Oh.
Probably gonna
Is
take
this
a
much a
minute.
5-hour energy shot? Is that too much?
No.
Do it. I want to see him.
Chug.
I want to see him. I want to see him Philip J. Fry that shit. I want to see it.
Okay, we want him to live long enough to move here.
He'll be able to move here in a nanosecond.
I'll be able to run there.
Start to stack up, and it's like, the fuck? Guys, I'll be right there.
This isn't even my final form.
By the time he gets here, he looks he's just like super thin, and like he just flashes that shit like just completely like I have to eat 17,000 calories anymore.
Yeah, you're just gonna notice like your living room getting full of boxes. Like what the?
And there's suddenly a truck there for no good reason, and you're parking in your parking.
Ooh, I wonder if I pour that into my gas tank.
No, unfortunately, any amount of sugar in your gas tank will pretty much destroy your car.
You'll be like the Aldini from Food Wars.
Yes.
Who are you?
It's my brother.
Yeah, he always slims down during the summer.
Guys, it's me.
Isamu.
So if you want to email the show, which we do this time of year as well, show@geek-io.net, put anime in the subject line. If you want us to look at any anime, let us know. And if it comes from fans, we are more likely to give it a look other than just us kind of looking at things that we actually want to watch because we learned our lesson, Junie Tyson.
Okay, Junie Tyson had one good episode.
It had like two.
Had two.
Well, the opening, the first episode and the tiger episode.
Yeah, two. But we learned our lesson. All of our social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, /GeekIO show. If you want to give us a call and leave us a voicemail, you can do that as well. 727-489-4335. That is 727-489-GEEK. on that yawn, we're gonna leave, guys. We'll talk to you next time. Bye.
Hi, my name is Water Buffalo, and I hope you've enjoyed this Geek.io Media Network production. Copyright 2018, you see how that works?
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.